What's up, YouTube? Today is a different video. I say that a lot, don't I? This is actually a different video. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so this is the pretty part of my entire setup here. That's all my retro game stuff. This is my collection so far. Got all the PS1 games, and by all of them I mean not many at f***ing all. Yeah, PS2 stuff, sorted of course by greatest hits and shit like that. All that stuff there. PS3, PS4, I don't really focus too much on newer games just because I'm mostly a retro streamer. I dig the retro hardware and stuff like that. There's some Xbox stuff in there, Xbox 360, PC stuff. Again, don't really focus on it, but here. This is where all the beautiful shit is. These are all NES games. These are from a company called Universal Game Cases. And they just provide these little like empty looking sort of VHS boxes almost that fit a lot of different cartridges, but they don't fit NES stuff. You actually have to cut them. Excellent, beautiful way to store your NES games, just so those games from 1985 can survive a little bit longer. Of course, the SNES stuff, I don't have as many SNES games. I wish I did. And then all the N64 stuff, I'm kind of just going in order down here. See, these are easier because you don't have to cut these out. These just kind of slot right in. Then, of course, the all the covers are from the coverproject.net. The GameCube after N64, the Wii, more Wii stuff, and then Wii U. And here's where the Sega stuff starts. I wish I had more Sega stuff, man. I'm a Sega guy through and through. There's the Sega Master System stuff. I actually have a video of me cleaning my Sega Master System right up here. Go check that out. Same with the Genesis stuff, actually. Some of these are mixed. These are original cartridge boxes, and then some of these are also the Universal cases I had to make myself. I love Genesis stuff, man. That's my first console ever. More Genesis stuff, Rocket Knight Adventures, the first 3 Sonics, of course. Hey, kitty. That's my stream cat. She always loves being on stream. She always loves screaming at me while I'm streaming. Never likes being on the camera, of course. She's an asshole like that. So this is something I think you guys can appreciate here. This is like my aesthetic. Check that out. Super Hang On. Classic Genesis game, but also really an arcade game. Graphics are awesome on this thing. I mean, you know, relatively speaking. But yeah, I just love the artwork on that, man. That super 80s retro sort of styling. Can't get enough of it. More Genesis stuff, then we walk into my very menial disc-based Sega stuff. I don't have anything for Sega CD, but I do have Sega Saturn stuff. Virtua Fighter and Blazing Dragons. There's my Dreamcast collection. I only have 2 games. Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, and Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Shout out Cruiser Power Ranger. And of course I got the web browser. That'll be fun if I can ever get online. Just go streaming my experience using 1999 internet on my Dreamcast. That'll take a Raspberry Pi and all that. Then I got a whole bunch of Game Gear games, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy original games. Got a PSP, DS Lite, and my original Game Boy Pocket. Game Boy Color's in my little Pokemon case back there. PSP stuff, not a whole lot of handheld stuff because I don't collect too much for that. I try not to collect in general, but yeah. I know you wouldn't let me get away with this. I found this complete in box on a thrifting journey once. It was like $3. I was like, dude, Game Boy games don't come in their boxes anymore. And of course, I'm sure nobody ever even played this. And some other just crap right here. There's nothing really in there, just cases and magic cards and a whole bunch of other crap. But DDR can happen at some point soon. Should happen. I'm out of shape as fuck though, that's gonna hurt. And of course we got some more peripherals and boxes just to look real nice. Got the NES blaster, can't wait to use that. But yeah, all this shit's pretty much pretty. I mean, you know, relatively speaking. I'm mostly proud of that stuff there. Now this is a piece of equipment I would love to use. But yes, this is my beautiful JVC 36-inch D-Series CRT. Once I can actually move into a nice setup room, I'm going to be using this to stream off of. Most likely just to play games, obviously. But I'll be able to see them. It'll be nice. Be a lot of space, a lot of room for games, and use that for game consoles. There's a whole bunch of crap in here for crafting and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to show my girlfriend stuff because I'm not sure she wants you to see the Metastone Crafts space yet, but oh dude, check this out. I have a hardtop for the Samurai, which is, you know, the future of that is still uncertain. And of course, what room will be complete without Indian memorabilia? That's actually a World War II era model 728, but it's a cool, like, transverse twin. They made that for World War II, and this one's just added some body styling elements and made it more civilian looking like. But shaft drive, transverse twin Indian. Get on it, dudes. You guys gotta make something new. Okay, here is the kicker. This is not pretty. Let's dig into it. Okay, so this computer's not mine. Everything back here is all Meadowstone Crafts. But this, I haven't cleaned up. I haven't done anything to make this video look better. This is my streaming setup. Now for editing and general streaming, like this is the central hub of everything. This is my iMac I got back in 2017, I want to say. Yeah, this is what I edit all my YouTube videos on. I love it. I will never go back to Windows again for editing. Fuck Adobe, fuck Sony Vegas. It's good to learn on, but it teaches you better to use Final Cut Pro. You may be wondering what all this other stuff is. This is my second monitor that I use. This is connected to this PC. I also use it for like more modern consoles for, you know, HDMI purposes, but if I'm doing what I'm mostly doing, which is playing retro games, you can see this is actually a JVC PVM. If you don't know what a PVM is, it's a professional video monitor. These are essentially way better than your average consumer CRT set. They're meant for professional applications. This is what the games were designed on. You know, this is what news stations use. A lot of hospitals use these, but essentially they are the sharpest quality CRTs you can really buy for 15 kilohertz, you know, TV and game purposes. Look at the scan lines. The sharpness of the picture is just, and this isn't even a really great CRT monitor out there either. It's just RGB output from the Super Nintendo on CRTs. That's a thing of beauty, man. You can't get that on a flat screen. Now, this is where we're gonna get into the weeds. I'll just put this here so y'all can have it visible. This is my, this is the microphone I use. This is the Samson Q2U dynamic microphone and its own little shock mount, and it's got its own boom arm. If anyone's interested in this gear, just follow the Amazon links in the description. They are affiliate links, so clicking on them, if you're interested in buying them or even just shopping through them, I do get a little bit of a kickback, full disclosure. That's the audio setup I run through. That is a Behringer Euphoria UMC 202 HD. It's a 2-channel stereo microphone and USB interface. Essentially gives you a lot of control over the sound and all that. This back here in this bird's nest is a Shiny Bow 6-into-1 SCART matrix switcher. Now what this does is it's got 6 inputs back here, and these last 2 SCART outputs are for dual outs. So on one end, this number 1 here, you can see like number 2, it's going to output 1. Output 1 is actually this JVC PVM right here. This is what I game on. And output 2, the SCART output to that goes right here into the RGB input on my FrameMeister. I try to run everything RGB that I can. Now what this does is it takes it from 240 or 480p and makes this 1080p or 720p HDMI. That means it can go up there and you can see it in there. That's my buddy right there. That's a guy called Popo and Duck on Twitch. Pretty funny guy. You should give him a follow if you're on Twitch. But that goes into here. This is an 8-port monoprice HDMI switch. This thing is pretty awesome. The number 1 is what I always default to, which is the actual HDMI upscaler for the retro consoles. Now the output of this goes straight into my capture card in the back, which you will be lucky if you can see. Like I said, this is a bird's nest of a setup. I got a router back there and all that. There's the cables for the RGB input for the monitor. But most of y'all probably don't care about all the technical side. Let's analyze this bird's nest we got here going on. Now the reason that I'm actually showing this to you guys is A, because I just want to show off my setup, but B, because I really would like to just document this and see how far I come with later on I'll have a better setup. Okay, so this bird's nest. So what do we got? The first console I ever got back here was my Sega Genesis. That's a Model 1. That's got the best output you can get stock from the factory without any mods. And I got this GameCube here just because there's no organization here. I'm using the Eon GCHD Mark II on there just to have analog out RGB. Back there is a Sega Master System, currently hooked up with Zillion in the cartridge slot. Ignore Stream 1, this is for stress relief purposes. And here we have an SNK Neo Geo Mini, only because I'm too poor to afford the real thing right now, although it is a big goal of mine to get an actual arcade cabinet with the Neo Geo MVS system. Up here we've got what I've been streaming off of mostly, an original PS1, not just the PlayStation, just because, well, I cleaned this one and I rather like it myself, so why not? Only thing that sucks about it is never reset button. Up here we have the PS2, which I haven't streamed PS2 stuff yet, but it's ready to go whenever. Got the Sega Dreamcast up here. That's almost done being hooked up. Y'all are gonna love that once it's done. Here's the gamepad for the Wii U, just charging right up there. Here's the actual Wii U sitting right there. I use this for streaming Wii games. A slim PS4, slim PS3, Super Nintendo, currently being played. But there's the Super Nintendo Mini. This is the model that has the best video output there is. And of course right here, sitting here, is a little modest little Game Gear. It works. And ready to be played up here is my Nintendo 64. It is not currently RGB modded, but I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to. Got a bunch of different controllers just sitting up there. There's my fight stick, modeled after the Neo Geo MVS cabinet. Beautiful, love this thing. Wish I could use it more. If you follow me on Twitch, you know that I've currently got a lighting tipping goal going on right now. There's the shitty little camera. This thing's better than the iMac webcam that's in there already. It could be a lot better if I had a proper lighting setup. But for now, this is what I have. It's one of these cheap little, like, lights you can get from Lowe's. I got another one of these up here, because you need to have a properly lit green screen in order for it to actually, like, work. So I mostly light it with that, and if I'm on stream, turn that light on there, put a little rubber band attached to a folder. We're real fucking low budget here, if you guys couldn't tell. God, I don't even want to get into the power. It's just a fire hazard waiting to happen with my nice, new motorcycle boots right in the way. I'm just lazy, I don't put shit away right. But, yeah. This is my tiny little corner. If you guys ever watch me on stream, and I don't know why you wouldn't, I'm fucking awesome. Just kidding. I'm a little bit of an acquired taste. But if you guys ever watch me on stream, this is the little fire hazard of a corner that I'm in. This is where I work. Ignore the tissues. They're there for evil. But this is everything, dudes. I honestly cannot fucking wait to get out of this corner. I want to do something in its own room with more room for consoles. Like, this shelf will not stand forever. It's the only thing that I had, and it's the only thing that worked, and I even had to cut the top to size so it still fits on the desk. There's just no room. And that's why I got something like this. There's my helmet just sitting there. I love the idea of using Kallax or cube shelf storage. As you saw the big white one in the other room. I just have to have the room for it. There's so many cables. There's so much to route. There's so much to do to make it look pretty that I just don't have. And this is off camera right now, so what are you gonna do? Once I can get a new place and build into a room like this, like actually this size, it'll be much better. So like this video if you liked it, thumbs down if you fucking hated it, thumbs up for my hair. That's a little bit of a Metal Jesus throwback. And click any of these videos too, if you want to watch something more motorcycle related. Hopefully there's a video for you to click right here, sometime in the future, where possibly I'll have a better setup. And if you got any questions, obviously just leave them down in the comments. And if you want to see anything else, just click the links in the description. Peace out, dudes. I'll see you next week.